The last two chapters of the Boruto manga have showcased the super power-up of Mitsuki and Sarada. The next chapter has a very high chance of introducing a new form of Boruto for a number of reasons. This artwork of Kishimoto acts as a basis for us to crack the mystery of Boruto's new form. Not only that, there are some time skip details which also hint at the same thing. So what's the next power-up that Boruto is gonna get? Let's find out. Boruto needs a new transformation, and so does Sasuke, since he has become too important to the story at present. While we still have no idea that how Sasuke might unlock his final form, we have got a lot of clues for Boruto's new power, but it's still hard to predict. Some basic stuff that we know about the next power of Boruto is that it might have something to do with either Momoshiki or the Jogan. While we haven't seen Boruto using Momoshiki's powers in the series before, which led to some theories connecting the soul of Momoshiki to Shibai, it could be that Momoshiki might grant Boruto his powers sooner or later, since he has shown a strong resolve towards the twist of fate. But if Boruto actually had access to Momoshiki's powers, then he should have manifested a Rinnegan on his palm, alongside some other major powers of Momoshiki in the time skip. But apparently the creators have focused on the Jogan of Boruto more than anything else in the prologue scene. So could it be that Momoshiki has nothing to do with Boruto's upcoming power-up? Well, to understand why this is a huge possibility, we must go back to chapter 78, where Himawari's true potential was teased. Demon is currently the most overpowered character of the series, and the fact that Himawari brought shivers to his spine could be a notable foreshadowing. The tricky part is that Boruto is the sibling of Himawari, but Demon did not feel any danger from him. So what has Himawari possessed that Boruto lacks, which will soon make her overpowered as hell? I feel like it's the gifted genetics of Hogoromo and Hamura, and let me explain how. We know Naruto has acquired the 6-pack chakra of Hogoromo, and he's a reincarnation of Ashura of Suzuki, which makes him a prominent individual. Hinata also seems to have the chakra of Hamura that she got in the last movie. The Boruto series apparently follows the Dragon Ball concept of power sharing, where the half-breed Saiyans possess more raw potential than full Saiyans. So if this concept has been applied to Himawari's case as well, she must have the prowess of an Otsutsuki as powerful as Kaguya. Maybe that's why Demon was afraid of her, cause he simply can't stand such a powerful being. The question remains, why didn't anyone else in the village notice this potential of Himawari before? A simple explanation could be that Demon holds the prowess of Shibai, who's an Otsutsuki god, so it might be easy for a being like him to detect a hidden Otsutsuki power. Himawari is already on an Otsutsuki level and is about to play a huge role in the future. The only problem is that if Boruto is her sibling, why didn't Demon see him as a threat? Well, Boruto actually did hold a great Otsutsuki prowess, as said by Momoshiki in episode 65. He might even utilize that power after the events of the time skip, as he has made a promise to Demon in chapter 80. The only thing that's blocking him from awakening that power is Momoshiki. The DNA of Momoshiki that has released in his body has overlapped his original Otsutsuki prowess, the same prowess that will make Himawari overpowered as hell. So if Boruto wants to unlock some breathtaking powers and abilities, he will need to deal with the curse of Momoshiki first. But what if I told you the monster has been dealt with during the events of the time skip? The way Kawaki is not after Boruto's life in the future, it could be that Momoshiki has been disbanded from his consciousness somehow. This brings us to this artwork of Kishimoto, where he had teased the power-ups of entire Team 7. Mitsuki and Sarada have already been buffed one after another in the recent chapters. This enhances the chances of Boruto's upgrade in the next chapter. Going by this artwork of Kishimoto, Boruto should unlock a dual Byakugan along with the Chakra cloak. But as we know, the Jogan has totally replaced the possibility of Boruto unlocking a Byakugan. The interesting thing here is this Chakra cloak, which is similar to the one wielded by Naruto and Toneri. Now that Kurama is dead, the only way for Boruto to get this Chakra cloak is through the Otsutsuki power. So let's find out how exactly will Boruto get this power up, alongside some theories dropped by you guys, so stay tuned. For convenience, I will be calling this form of Boruto the Omni Mode, and I will give its explanation later. We know that Boruto's true prowess has been suppressed by Momoshiki. That's why his Jogan has appeared a very few times, ever since Momoshiki has taken him over in the anime. So once Boruto finds a way to suppress Momoshiki, he must be able to activate the Jogan. This means Boruto's new powers will have nothing to do with Momoshiki, and the Omni Mode is a result of him controlling his own Otsutsuki chakra. So now that we know the key for Boruto to unlock the Omni Mode is the farewell of Momoshiki, let's figure out how exactly it could happen. So I have got a couple of theories for this possibility. The first one deals with Amado and his goals in the new reality. Amado's precious vessel before omnipotence had taken place was kawaki. Kawaki. He wanted him to revive his daughter and had even planned a shutdown code for him. While the secret code won't be in use anymore, the real thing that makes Amado Momoshiki's Grim Reaper is his will to bring his daughter back. Back in chapter 75, Amado had explained the whole procedure of Akibi's revival. He would create a clone with the memories of his daughter, and the karma would be utilized to fill it with consciousness. However, now that reality has been altered, Amado could approach Boruto and beg him to put a karma on the clone. Boruto might try to convince Amado that he's not who he thinks he is, but the scientist won't accept this at all. He would start questioning his own reality rather than believing what has happened. Amado might start crying and would beg Boruto to use his karma on Akibi's clone. Seeing the helplessness of the scientist, Boruto might decide to use the karma on Akibi's clone, and guess what? It would separate Momoshiki from his body. Now you may ask, if Momoshiki would gain a new vessel in this way, it could make his plans a lot more achievable. I would say not really, cause Amado must have a shutdown code installed in this new clone as well for an emergency. This explains how Boruto gets rid of Momoshiki, leading to the awakening of his original Otsutsuki powers. Now that Boruto is an Otsutsuki as well, the activation of Jogan might take place the moment Momoshiki leaves his consciousness. Amado could have some knowledge about this eye, and he might give some hint to Boruto regarding the power of the Jogan. Now let's get into the second possibility, which revolves around Momoshiki suppressing himself willingly. I think Boruto and Momoshiki could have a heated argument in the future, where he would blame the ailments of his fate onto the monster. Momoshiki could respond by saying that he would erase his chakra sign from Boruto's consciousness just to see Kawaki's reaction after that. All of this would be done to prove that Momoshiki's involvement did not trigger, but only accelerated Boruto's twist of fate. Kawaki, even after realizing Momoshiki is no more, would continue to destroy the shinobi world, which means his plans would remain the same. Anyway, both of these possibilities hint at Boruto unlocking his true essence that he was born with. Now that he would have no restrictions on releasing his true power, the most awaited Jogan could enlighten his right eye for the very first time in the manga. Talking about the Omni Mode, I feel like once Boruto would get his hand on the pure eye, it will grant him a chakra mode, which is way too similar to the one used by Toneri. While they both could have similar powers and abilities, the eye of Boruto could grant him some even more mind-blowing powers, like the ability to travel between dimensions that we have already seen in the series, alongside seeing the future and thoughts of an individual, similar to Momoshiki's foresight power. The other powers of Boruto's pure eye will heavily depend on its origin. If it belongs to an Otsutsuki god, then the story could take a completely different turn, as compared to the eye being a manifestation of Kaguya's special power. If it actually has ties to some Otsutsuki god, then there is a high chance for the Jogan to reverse the effects of the omnipotence at the end of the series at the cost of the eye itself. The reason I named this chakra form the Omni Mode has something to do with the godly origins of the Jogan. Remember how Urashiki said this eye is troublesome? The Otsutsuki has traveled a large number of star systems and galaxies. He must also possess a lot of Shinjutsu knowledge like Momoshiki, and if he recognizes something as nuisance, then it's actually a really big deal. Talking about the final role and power of Boruto, there is a term that is known as omnikinesis. It refers to the ability of manipulating everything in the universe. I feel like Boruto will be able to utilize this power by the end of the series, and he will most likely alter the memories of people that were manipulated by Otsutsuki gods previously. He might even end up fixing the flaws of the shinobi system that ended up in Kawaki revolting against it. The Jogan could help him to bring true peace and save humanity from outside dangers permanently. We know from the anime that there is some wheel used by Moon Otsutsuki to protect planet Earth. However, it was shown to be cracking, which could mean the Earth is now vulnerable to Otsutsuki attacks. The Jogan could help to get that wheel back, and we might even get to see Toneri Otsutsuki once again in the series. The story could then follow Boruto revolting against the Otsutsuki clan. However, there is also a very dark ending in my mind that would change the whole tone of the Boruto series. What if Boruto is not able to reverse omnipotence and gets killed by his sister at the end of the series, which is way too similar to Itachi's legacy, who died by the hands of Sasuke at the very end? If something like this actually happens, do you think Boruto would be able to reveal the truth to his sister? Let me know in the comments what you think, and don't forget to check out these videos for more amazing stuff. I will see you next time.